Welcome to your practice and really welcome to this beautiful moment. I've been speaking with many of you and I know that a few of you have dropped off your practice. You've kindly let me know. And what I want to offer is, or what I want to say at the beginning of this is that quite often we drop off our practice because it's not giving us the support that we need. And I can identify with that because a couple of years back, I had something like that happen, teaching for 7 years and practicing for about 8. And I had a terrible breakup and I handled it with no grace. I was completely consumed in the caught upness, in the turbulence of it all. And really, it didn't make any sense to me because from what I had read and what I had seen in the teachings is that that's not what happens when you're a yogi. And that you can still remain above it all. And so I went on this grand search, which led me to India. I went to a specific ashram that I wanted a specific teacher from a lineage of. I just knew in my heart that that's where my teacher would be. And I went into this ashram. My teacher wasn't there, but I went there and I prayed daily for a teacher to show me the way. And so I did end up meeting him about 6 months later. And what has transpired in that 16 months, it feels like my yogic journey really had just began then. And everything prior to that was a preparation. And so for most of you, I know you've been practicing for at least 5, 6 years. And what happens is you get involved in these practices that are really rajistic, and you absolutely need to practice that way in the beginning. That is beautiful. What then happens is that if you practice that way for too long, you begin to lose ojas. And ojas is really the vital sap that keeps you healthy. It's also what allows you to contain fire and light as you begin to build and transform. You actually get leaky. And so rather than doing that sort of practice this evening, and what I'm going to introduce you to in the next 4 weeks, this is really the progression of yoga. So it's less superficial. It's less about asana. It's less about form. Form has this suggestion that it's fixed. And really, we're going to dive into the energetics and how the energetics of asana can completely shift your energy. And in changing your energy, you can change your perception of yourself and life, which means that you can navigate in your life with more ease, even if it's turbulent. So that's going to be my beginning piece. You're going to begin in either shavasana, child's pose, or a comfortable seat. And just let it be kavi. And kavi is the Sanskrit term for the whispers of your heart. Take a moment to get comfortable. And just begin to feel for the ever-present rhythm of your breathing. The sheer magnitude of the magnificence that is within you is sometimes beyond what our finite self can even comprehend. When we move outward and we get caught up in the hurricane of life, our mind gets clouded and we feel as far away from our true self as we can possibly get. And so in order to merge our finite self with the infinite, it's absolutely vital that we stabilize our energy. And this is where Tantra really comes in, because it's more about the mastery of your energy than it is anything else. If you can consciously shape your energy field, you can consciously shape and influence a positive direction for your mind. And so here, just continue to soften into that ever-present rhythm of breath. The intention of this practice is to steady the moon. The moon is the mind. The centerpiece of the moon practice is to establish what's called witness consciousness, with this understanding that there's this part of you that is always at rest. There is a part of you that is always unchanging, purusha, consciousness, soul, and that everything around you, body, thought, emotion, circumstances, that's called prakriti, the stuff that's constantly changing. And so throughout this practice, we're going to continue to establish coming back to the seat of the seer, the one who watches you within your experience. As you begin to deepen your breath, just become aware of sound. Without overanalyzing, just become aware of sound, the sounds that are most further away from you, to the more subtle, the sounds that are closer to you. And then become aware of the flesh, the texture of your skin. Just for the next 20 seconds, become aware of the flesh. And now to go that extra layer deeper, can you become aware of your thoughts? As if you're sitting on the edge of a cliff, looking out at the grand sea. You watch as thoughts rise and as they fall. And now become aware of who was the one that was aware of sound. Who was the one that was aware of the flesh? Who was the one that was aware of your thoughts? This is purusha, the one who is resting. And so now deeply anchored in the seer, take 3 more deep breaths and just feel the chamber of your being expand and feel it contract. Beautiful. From here, yogis, you're simply going to bend your knees, curl off to one side. Please take your time, no rushing, and you will come to all fours. And this is when I'm going to say you can turn the playlist on. Take your time. And then once you find your 4-point position, Chakravarkrasana, you'll take a deep breath in, fill up the entire belly. And then as you exhale, can you drift back into child's pose with the chin drawing down towards the chest? Belly meets the thighs, seat meets the heels, and just bend the elbows so the forearms drop. Come back forward, breath in. The heart opens a little more. And now follow the exhale, child's pose. Be mindful of the chin. So when the chin's jutting forward, no, it's no good for the shoulders, but it also means that you lead with the head, with your mind more than your heart. And so I really want to pay specific attention to that throughout the practice. Take a deep breath in, come back forward. And now you'll take the action again, but can you breathe out for a count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breath in. This time a 7 count exhale as you move back into child's pose. So the significance of drawing the chin slightly towards chest and displacing the head back means that you're going to destimulate the intellect, which is super vital, which is what we're moving towards. Take one more breath in. 8 count exhalation, child's pose. So you're consciously slowing things down. Next breath in, you'll come forward to all fours. Tuck your toes and move into downward facing dog. Now we're going to take that long exhalation into this movement. So moving dynamically, just lower down the knees, take a deep breath in. 8 count exhalation into downward dog. Again, mindful of the throat. Chin slightly drawing in, so the back of the neck elongates, the spinal column gets nice and long, the legs ever so bright. Lower down the knees, inhale. The heart illumines with each breath in. Pacifying the mind, chin slightly draws in, 8 count exhalation, downward facing dog. You'll take one more round. Lower down the knees. Inhale, chamber of the lungs fills. 8 count exhalation, downward facing. This time, yogis, can you stay here for 5 breaths? What I want you to pay attention to is where you move involuntarily. That extra fidgeting and moving around can be seen as excess vata, air, ether. When it's in excess, we move. We find it incredibly hard to be still. And so just really feeling for the times that we're in, you might be finding that that's true within you. It's hard to still the body. It's hard to still the mind. So just feel yourself dropping in, let go of all the involuntary movement and just feel for the liquid flow of your breath, moving in and out of the terrain of the nose. The whole vessel of your being fills up on your inhale. Long, lush exhale to root and ground to the moment. You've got one more breath. Anchor on your out breath. And now keep your feet exactly where they are. You're just going to walk you're just going to walk your hands towards your feet. So you'll be at the back of the mat. And again, here in your halfway lift, be mindful, rather than the chin move jutting forward, slightly draw it in and displace the head back. It feels completely different. Get nice and long through the side body, take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, you're just going to cascade forward into the fold. And so the belly's going to draw towards the thighs. I'm going to make the suggestion to have the knees slightly bent. And then you just take a really nice ragdoll, just letting the whole back channel of your body open up. Bring a slight bit of tension towards the quads. That's just going to protect the hamstrings. And just really let the neck go. Good. From here, you're going to come all the way up to stand, rolling up through the spine. On your next breath in, can you sweep the arms wide and high? So I really want you to not have the feet together here, but hip width. As you exhale, you're going to bend into the knees for chair pose. Good. At the last portion of your exhale, keep the hips just above the knee line. The belly's going to compress to the thighs and you'll reach the fingertips forward, drop the neck. Take an inhale, come all the way back up. You're going to pass through chair and then come all the way to stand through the legs. Now, the importance of this is to really strengthen your lower back. Exhale, 6 counts, bend into the knees, Belly moves towards the thighs, fingertips touch down, release the neck. Once you're at the base of your exhale, can you come back up through chair? You should be starting to feel a little bit of warmth there through the legs, maybe even the lower back. And then again, a 7 count exhalation, passing through chair. Last quarter of that exhale, you're just going to let the neck hang. So this is a Krishnamacharya technique. Super, super ancient, really amazing to build a stable lower back. Move your legs towards straight. And now an 8-second exhalation. So you're slowing your out breath. What you'll find is that this is not going to be so much challenging on your body as it's going to challenge the mind. It's much easier to shape our bodies than our mind. And so just really stick with it, with an openness and with a kindness. The next time you come up, we're set up now for a longer hold. Bend into your knees. Really feel a surge of energy through your arm bones, and now set your gaze to the horizon. With each exhale, can you feel a spontaneous lift of the pelvic floor to the navel, navel to the heart? 2 more breaths. Deep inhale. Stay for the exhale. And now straighten up the legs, arms drift by side, and you might already begin to be feeling a little bit of stability there. Definitely a little bit of warmth, especially if you haven't practiced in a while. Bring a little softness to your knees, take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, mindful again of the chin. Chin draws in as you slide the hands down the backs of the legs. Walk your hands forward, downward facing dog. Nice. From here, your right leg is going to lift up. Track your right knee in towards the navel and just step your right foot towards the thumb. From here, you'll plant your back foot down for Vira 1. Inhale, the arms go wide. In this Virabhadrasana 1, can you slightly hinge forward so that the lower back flattens? Again, we're stabilizing the lower back rather than jamming it. Now, stretching through those arm bones, take a breath in, move your right leg to straightish. And now a 6 count exhalation to bow, draw the chin in. Can you maintain a flat spine as you come forward? Belly moves towards the back body, release. As you inhale to come back to Vira 1, the wings of your back body open up. Drift all the way back forward, feel that slight hinge through the lower back, stay for your exhale. Your next breath in, the right leg straightens. And now 6 counts to exhale. If it's too strong to have the arms straight, know that you can have your hands to the hips. Again, I want you to feel the function of this asana, which is to draw the chin in. As you come forward, you're lengthening the back body. And then as you come back up, you're strengthening. Inhale, come back up. We're going to do that 1 more round. So you stay for the exhale, navel turns to the right. Breath in, right leg straighten. 6 count exhalation to fold. You might feel a little bit of test through your strength, through the stability, through not just the body, but mind. That's where we're going. Inhale, come all the way back up, Vira 1. Take your hands to Anjali Mudra at your heart. And now set your gaze to the horizon. One of my favorite descriptions of asana, it means to be seated. And so right now you might be tested. It might be feeling a little bit uncomfortable. How do you wish to be seated when things get unfavorable? Can you move through the sensation? Continue to establish the witness, the part of you that's not changing, and yet feel for the parts of you that are changing. You've got 1 more breath. Gently move your right leg to straight. Your left hand's going to connect to your right wrist. Take a deep breath in, soften the shoulders. And then as you exhale, forward fold over the right leg. And so my people that are maybe a little bit flexible, like me, over flexy, see what happens if you try to lengthen your front body. You'll find you'll get a lot more length. Those that are a little bit more restricted, again, you can take your hands to your hips or hands to a block. We're going to be here just for about 20 more seconds. Can you favor the exhale? So the exhalation is longer than your in-breath. I'm not going to give you a specific count. With each exhale, feel a pacifying of the frontal lobe. Give yourself permission to be nowhere but here. Last breath. Release. The hands are going to frame your right foot. You'll be feeling it possibly in that hip. So to release it, right leg's going to go up. Bend the top knee. And in fact, just take any movement with that top leg that you need. Good. With that right knee, can you draw it across the body and extend it for a fallen triangle? So as it extends across, the left toes are going to press down, the left foot, I should say. Energize through the inner leg, and the left arm is just going to move back, up and forward. A little opening there to the side waist. Take a breath in. Breath out, left hand grounds, knees drop. Child's pose. The tailbone's going to go back in space. Again, chin draws in. Let everything drop. The right and the left side hemisphere of your body might just feel a little different. Check that out. Breath in, come forward. Your thighs are going to drop to a cobra. And so as you move through this, I'm going to make the suggestion that you don't grip the glutes, but rather you lift the lower belly, and that's going to protect your lower back. And then you let it all melt down. Inhale, the heart lifts. Exhale, child's pose. And now with the unique pulse rhythm of your breath, can you follow it as you navigate through 2 more rounds and just indulge? There's no wrong. You're just feeling the magnificence of your being. Continue to establish the witness. Object awareness. I am not my mind, but I am that watches my mind think. I am not my body, but I am that watches my body move. Don't let my cues rush you at all. Just let my cues be a foreshadowing. Once your 3 cycles of delicious spinal ritual are complete, you'll come to downward facing dog. Left leg rises, inhale. Knee towards the navel, step the left foot through, and you'll just plant yourself ready for warrior 1. Your whole inhale is going to take you up, a majestic, strong stance. Stay for your out breath. Navel's going to turn towards your left. Breath in, the left leg straightens. 6 count exhalation to fold. Inhale, rebend into the front knee. The arms go wide and high. Stay for your out breath. Breath in, left leg straightens. Keep that slight micro bend of that front knee. 6 count exhalation to fold. The slower you take the movement, the more you're going to test through the strength of your back. Inhale, arms go wide. Energetically, you're rising and falling, expanding and contracting all at once. Stay for the out breath. Inhale, left leg straightens. 6 count exhalation to fold. Inhale, arms rise. This time, hands drift to Anjali Mudra at your heart. Eyes can be open, eyes can be closed. And so the whole point of reconnecting back to this part of you that is unchanging is that you'll find that you become less identified with your circumstances, less identified with the transitory objects of the world. And so nothing can throw you off your 2 feet. And so here, can you ground like nothing can throw you off? One more breath. Left leg moves to straight. Right hand's going to collect your left wrist. Breath in. Breath out. Fold. Again, my flexies. See if you can get the front of your body long rather than focusing on the back chain. Notice what's happening to the field of your body, the energetic field within and without. Three more breaths. Let yourself get caught up in nothing but the seer. Once your next exhale is complete, hands ground. That left leg, let it release. Take it up towards the sky and you can just open the hip. And your body is super intelligent, so just let it move how it needs to move so you get your release. And then you'll very elegantly take the knee across the body, fall in triangle. As that leg extends, the right arm is going to move back, up, and forward. A nice little opening through your right side waist. Breath in. Breath out, right hand comes down, left knee drops. Child's pose. That whole exhale just washes everything that happened away. Inhale. Come back forward through the thighs. And then you can take it even slightly higher than cobra. I know up dog we tend to have the thighs off the ground, but you can move them this way also. The elbows are bent and then you let it release. Good. From here, can you please take your hands? So the hands are actually facing the ceiling. Backs of the hands are to your sacrum. And then the forebrain can be down, or you can turn the head to the right. Your next breath in. Can you reach your right arm forward like a mini Shalambhasana so the heart lifts? The right elbow bends and lift up your left leg. Again, another Krishnamacharya technique just to balance the spine, strong through that lifted leg. And then you let it all go. Turn the head to the left, the cheek releases. And then again, inhale, the left leg floats. Left arm goes forward, bend the elbow, just so you're not straining the neck. Feel a little bit of surge through that right leg, and then turn the head to the right. We're going to go one more to each side. Breath in. Left leg floats, right elbow is bent. Exhale to the left. One more. Inhale. Elbow bends. Flare the right toes. Turn your head to the right. Nice. From here, you're perfectly set up. Cobra or upward facing dog. And maybe even have just a moment to suspend. Breath in. Breath out. Pull from the navel center, downward facing dog. Good. So that's the classical moon practice complete. I'm just going to move you through a gentle flow just to uplift. Now that we've cultivated that steadiness, we can increase just a little bit of prana. Take a deep breath in, right leg rises. Step your right foot through Virabhadrasana 1. Breath in, your arms are like butterfly wings. Strong yet soft, delicate. Exhale, open up your arms to Vira 2. Dance your feet open. And just have the arms level to the shoulders. You can pick the gaze over the fingertips or to the side wall. On your next breath in, float the right arm back. If you haven't practiced in a while, this is going to feel strong on those legs. So you can move the right leg to straight. I'll be kind. And then as you exhale, you'll come forward. Let's just take a modified side angle. Forearm to the thigh, energize your back leg, power it up. And now a big opening through that left lung. Feel a sense of expansion as you take a deep breath in. Breath out, the left fingertips come down, pick up your back heel. Revolve twist, hug your right hip back as you power up through that back leg, turn and spin from the navel, breath in. Breath out, turn to the left. This can be Skandasana, high or low. Come back to the top of the mat. Left hand grounds just in front of the shoulder. Turn and spin all 10 toes to the right for twisted Skandasana. And one of my favorite transitions, you're just going to spin around to the left. Separate leg stretch. Your toes are in one line. Again, activate and tone through the quads. Take a deep breath in, and now a 6 count exhalation to fold. Again, breath in, halfway lift. Mindful of the placement of the neck. A 7 count exhale to bow. One more, inhale. 8 counts. Bowing in a deep reverence and honoring to your source. Honoring not your physical heart, but your spiritual heart. We're going to suspend here just for a few more breaths. Can you sustain the long exhale? No specific count. And just let that long exhalation be a gift. Softening what's become hard, rigid. Come back to the seer. Halfway lift. Turn to your right. And now all you're going to do is place the hands down, place the right foot to the back of the mat, downward dog. Yogis, you're going to walk your hands towards your feet. Again, a little softness to the backs of those knees. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. From the fold, you'll come up to stand. I'm going to let you choose if you come up with a flat back or with a rounded back. One's probably going to feel better than the other. And now once you stack, we're going to get ready for this Garandasana variation. It's quite strong. We're coming into a fold. So you're going to take your arms to the side. Left arm's going to wrap underneath the right. Bend into your knees. Pick up your left leg and wrap it on top. And now don't worry about getting a double wrap. Can you sink the hips, lift the fingertips up, take a deep breath in. And now sustain your outer right hip drawing back as you come forward. Even feel a slight clamping of the top leg to the bottom leg. And now drift your fingertips forward, drop the chin. Breathe into the belly. With each out breath, the navel pulls towards the back body, creating that compression. Again, this is just another technique to reduce vata, to stabilize it, to still it. Feel yourself almost get super condensed. It's called Bindu Bednam. Condensed into one singular dot. You've got one more breath. And then gently back out. I don't know why that's so intense, but it is. Take your arms out wide. Just let that wash out. Feet are hip width. Heel of the hand to your lower back. And then don't let this be too exaggerated movement. I don't want to do too many backward bends, but open up through the chest. And now as you come forward, chin. Sealing the gate at the throat. Hands slide down the backs of the legs. Walk your hands forward, downward facing dog. From down dog, we're gonna go to up dog. Keep the toes curled underneath you. And then the heels are gonna press back as the shoulders stack on top of the wrists. And then again, you're just gonna suspend here for as long as it feels right to you. The breath is effortless. The breath is key. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then two more like that, just waving the spine. Last one. We're gonna go to the other side. Left leg rises. Step your left foot through. 0, 1, rise. Inhale. Exhale, open your arms, Virabhadrasana 2. Your next breath in, left leg straightens, right arm drifts forward. And then as you exhale, this modified side angle, ensure you're not dumping the weight on that bottom leg, but you lifted torso up and away from the pelvic bowl, and then the right arm drifts forward. And then just feel that openness through the right side channel. You're here just for a breath in. Follow the breath out as the fingertips come forward, pick up the back heel. And now your left arm's gonna open out to revolve twist. Feel the left hip slightly drop as you ground through that front foot, turn from the navel, breath in, breath out, find a little bit more depth. And then you're just gonna follow that around to the right and let all of that release. Skandasana, however you need to take it. Keep the hips low, back to the top of the mat. Right hand grounds, turn and spin all 10 toes to the left. The femur here just drops into the socket. And then spin around to the right. Separate leg stretch. This time, can you take the hands to interlace behind you? Softness in those knees, take a deep breath in. Mindful of the way that you're displacing the neck. And then as you exhale, fold. So this round, I'm going to have you here for just under a minute. Natural breath in, and you're breathing out into infinity. What you'll find is a natural occurrence is that the slower the mind becomes, the more subtle the breath becomes. They're so intricately connected.
So you're just continually reminding yourself, mind to take its seat on the flow of the air. Feel present moment awareness dawning. The light of the inner teacher assumes all distraction. Two more breaths. And then you let those arms release. Halfway lift. Turn to your left. You frame the foot. The left foot's going to step to the back of the mat. Walk your hands towards your feet. Again, be super cautious. Kind to your lower back. Either rise with a rounded spine or with a flat spine. Whatever feels best. Arms go out wide. Inhale. This round, you'll take your right arm underneath the left. Hands connect. Bend into your knees. And then just steady the gaze. Shift into your left foot. The right leg is going to wrap on top. Flare the right toes ever so slightly. Let the buttocks drop. The fingertips move up. Deep breath in. As you exhale, you're coming into the fold. Feel a clamming of the top leg on top of the bottom. Fingertips are going to move forward. And then you're getting condensed into this singular point. And nothing can throw you. Be gentle with yourself as you release. Shake it out if you need. I always find that a really strong surge, like a wave. Whew. Big clear out that one is. Fingertips face upward, elbows hooked towards one another. Breath in. Again, you can keep this really, really subtle. I recommend it. And then as you exhale, the chin's going to slightly draw in as the hands slide down the backs of the legs. And you're just now oozing into deeper layers of your being beyond body, beyond thought. As you release, you're just going to walk the fingertips forward, downward facing dog. Take a moment to pause. What are you bringing to this moment? Feel the shift of your energetic field, the terrain of mind. Embrace that calm, clear quality, stability, anchoring. And we'll come to a kneel. Good. And so as you come to this point, this is just again to set up the lower back. So as you take a breath in, the arms are going to lift. Breath out, the arms go out wide, turn the head to your left. Inhale, sweep. Feel yourself opening up a little more. Exhale, head turns to the right. And then one more to each side. You can take this on your own.
Just feeling that little bit of warmth there to the cervical spine. Whilst your lower back neutralizes, stabilizes. Continuing to move towards quietude. Drifting into the state of sthiti, an unbroken current of unsurpassed calm. Your last time you come down, just bring your forebrain to the mat. The arms are just going to drape by your side. And yeah, you can pause in stillness. Sometimes quite like just moving the hips side to side. And just continue to soften the space between the eyebrows. When you come up to a seat, we're going to set up for Gomukasana. And so when you're ready, you can just bring the legs forward however you need. Right leg on top of the left. And know that you can have the bottom leg forward. If you need props, you can place a blanket underneath the sit bones. It just allows you to come forward a little more. And so I'll let you choose your expression. And what's important is that there is a part of you that's comfortable. The breath is free. Good. So from here, just take your left hand out to the side and your right arm's going to flow to the side. And again, just a little bit of awakening to the side body. Not commonly used in a moon practice, but again, it's to uplift you, to brighten you up. Super important right now. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, wrap your left lung forward and just find the right angle for your neck. No tension there. Separate the teeth within the mouth and soften the entire inner palate. And then come back through the center line, tall spine. You can remain upright or come into the fold. Another description of purusha, which is my favorite, is that it means the almighty person. It's the real you. It suggests that the real you is more powerful than your circumstances at all times. And so we'll be here just for a little bit. Continue to be aware of your body breathing. The texture of your skin. The wave of thought. Rather than being the doer, watch from the place of the observer. Take your last breath. And a grounding breath out. And gently come back up to seat. And then we'll change sides. Take your right hand down. The left wing is just going to lift. Feel the left side body fanning open. Bring spaciousness to that left lung, left kidney, the left adrenal. And just pause here, ever present, luminous. connected. Come back through the center line, breath in. And then you'll either stay upright or you'll walk into the fold. And now just feel the very tenderness of this moment. The tantrics see the world and everything in it as sacred. Even in this moment, if you've attached it to being less than perfect, it's perfect as it is. It's inherently sacred. The more you see it as sacred, the freer you'll become. With each exhale, give yourself permission to let go a little more. When you let go, that's when the magic happens. You deconstruct all the constructs that your small self creates, and you open yourself up to what's limitless. You open yourself up to your magnificence. 2 more breaths. And then you'll gently rise. You'll probably feel this wave coming over you that you really dropped in, decompressed. Let's keep that going. Take the legs in front of you. Knees are slightly bent. And you're just going to take all of that into Shavasana. As you let go of the conscious breath, let yourself bathe in the most boundless, expansive ocean of healing. Remain basking in the ocean of bliss. With each inhale, just feel a wave of gratitude for this very breath. This very breath that gives you the gift of life. Let yourself awaken slowly, naturally. The second orientation of moon practice is that not only do you create stability, but then the next part is to sustain it. So you take that quality with you as you make your way to a seat. Just let the music fade out. And then you find the seat that's the most comfortable, one that you can maintain a tall spine. The shoulders are softening down. And then slightly feel your spine drift back as you grow a little bit taller. And now take a natural breath in and a 6 count exhale. Your natural breath in, 7-second exhale. No force. Let it be completely effortless. Natural breath in, 8 count exhale. And then just continue to shape the breath that way. So inhale's 4. Exhale is 8 counts. And now if everything is really emotional, I'm going to say, leave the breath retention out. If you're feeling calm, clear, at the base of your exhale, can you pause 1 or 2 counts? And in that suspension, you'll find you'll naturally be drawn to the base of the spine. Continue, please. Natural breath in. 8 count exhale. Suspend the movement of the mind in the pause. Let the mind become absorbed in the movement of the breath. You'll take 2 more rounds. Once you're complete, let go of shaping the breath and just let the breath fall into a natural rhythm, an involuntary flow. And now can you begin to collect your awareness, the space of the midbrain? So you consciously move your attention as if it's drawn towards it like a magnet. Above the roof of the mouth, somewhere just underneath the crown of the head. And now the sweetest ujjayi. It's super subtle. And so all that this is going to do is it will create a vibration just under the bone under the pituitary. And then that pituitary lights up the light of perception. The more you condense and draw your awareness to the space of the midbrain, the quieter you'll become. And in that quiet, an abundance of spaciousness. Continue to hold or collect energy in that space. And then perceiving it as light, the light of perception. So much so that even if you were in a dark room, it would light the space up. And now know that you can stay here. You can also move that light to now dawn to the realm of your heart. And that light opens the petals of the lotus that maybe were once feeling closed off. And then you just let yourself rest in a pool of joy, openness, freedom, luminosity. The seed of joy that's not based on your circumstances to be perfect for you to feel it, but your innate joy. To continue to feel that space brighten. Now, if you've dropped in and you have a mantra practice, feel free to stay. If you're closing, you're just going to deepen the breath first. And then just gently rub the tops of the thighs. You might feel heat in your hands. Hands cover the face.